Many congratulations.
Thank you.
You must be thrilled with the award.
Yes, I am. I'm thrilled, and as I'm about to receive this award, I'm thinking about the people in my film that opened the doors to their lives to me. So this award goes to them, really.
It's probably a good time for you to kind of do a little bit of introspection and thinking about what you've achieved, because documentary filmmaking is not easy, is it?
No, it's very, very difficult. It's draining, and I think I inhabit my film right now. Every film, every documentary I make, it's like I'm buying real estate. So they're my homes. I have 5 homes right now, so I'm very rich because these people enriched me. These experiences made me a richer person inside.
And why did you want to tell this story?
Because we can talk about America, because the big racial gap has never been filled, but we could also talk about the world, and I think with this film, the leitmotiv is that democracy, justice, and tolerance are not negotiable concepts. So I think that's what really, I hope that the idea of not negotiability hopefully triggers a deeper conversation about those issues.
The wonderful thing about documentary filmmaking is the organicness of the process. There's things that flourish that you wouldn't necessarily have known until you start making the film. Are there things like that you could share with us?
Well, it's the whole film. The film has started with me following a woman, Jodie Hill, who's the main protagonist of this film, and there's moments that are sad, like a clash with the police between the police in Baton Rouge and the Black Panthers, and I was stuck in the middle. So we've been shot at 3 times. There's been beautiful moments, like celebrating happy moments, like a birthday, or maybe being able to pay the rent and buying a cake and eating it all together. So.
Now you're here at the London Film Festival. Why is it so important to have your film entered into the festival? British.
Because British audiences and American audiences at least share not only parts of history but a common language, and I think that again the language, the deeper root of the language is the concept. Again, it's that language belongs to everybody, and hence democracy belongs to everybody. So it's all that. So
words.
I feel,
And the word spreads.
Exactly. So it's beautiful to be here. Really is.
So tell me, what is it about documentary that is such a great medium for storytelling?
Well, I think at its best, it's actually the best form of filmmaking to deliver, in my view, narrative and emotion. Actually, I think there's nothing like the truth told by the real people, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely, the authenticity of the story,
yeah.
Isn't it? In its rawest form, actually.
Yeah. But I think documentaries come a long way, and I think really docs increasingly compete with what is described as narrative films, which actually I think is a bit of a misnomer, because docs can be highly narrative. But yeah, I think we're going through a good time in documentary.
We are actually, aren't we? There's a real kind of appetite for documentary.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in the US, there were documentaries that were doing absolutely huge numbers at the box office, and yeah, I guess everyone's kind of wondering why things are changing so much for the better. But I think maybe Netflix might be part of the reason. I think Netflix has sort of found new audiences for documentaries, and the other streaming platforms are sort of following suit. So yeah.
And we're here at the London Film Festival, and you've chaired the best documentary. What made this film the right choice?
It was just one of those films that I think everyone kind of sort of formed an easy kind of consensus around. It was just an incredibly raw, emotional film. It was a sort of snapshot of an African American community in the Deep South, sort of dealing with racial injustice and division, and it just feels very urgent and contemporary and shocking, actually. But the filmmaking was absolutely beautiful and incredibly intimate, sort of in a weird way. I think this director, who's Italian, sort of managed to sort of get up close to this community in a way that I actually hadn't seen before. Maybe it was something to do with him being an outsider.
And working with your fellow jurors, can you tell us more about the collaborative process there? And what was it like? Was there things that you were introduced to that you hadn't thought of when you saw this film as well? So things that you learned?
something as I learned
from listening to other people and entering into a dialogue with your fellow jurors?
No, it's always a kind of fascinating process, the jury process, and you kind of enter into it with a degree of trepidation, because jury processes can be difficult, and the last couple of times almost came to blows actually, but this one was actually very convivial. Everyone sort of seemed to broadly share same views about the films, which is quite unusual. So yeah, but I mean, we discussed them, and you know, your views definitely kind of change as you discuss the films. But yeah, in the end, I think actually we all kind of came in with much the same views about the films, and certainly the winning film.